Erik Ten Hag has had to defend Bruno Fernandes because he was targeted by Forest, according to the Manchester United manager, play acting and feigning injury. They put it up on their TikTok account and he said, I'm not going to say what injury he has, but it's a serious injury. And seeing how serious it was, they criticise him on social media and it's pathetic and can't be. He has a serious injury, but he continues to play on Saturday. He fought to be part of this game. He has a very high pain threshold, and last year he did something similar at Spurs, and it shows his leadership, and that is very good when you're a leader. It flows into the team. So the moment is him going down and then getting back up very quickly. What do you think of this, Stevie?
So just to be clear, Fulham put this up on their official channels. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they had a bit of fun with it on TikTok. And he didn't like that they were making fun of this moment.
Well, I'll have to say, I agree with Ten Hag in that I don't think it's Fulham's place on their official channels to poke fun at another club's player. You have more than enough people who are willing to do that. So I don't think, as a football club, that's the role that you should be playing. That being said, it's kind of there for everybody to see what happened. And Bruno Fernandes to be criticised for it. And while Ten Hag may want us to feel differently, been seeing this from Bruno Fernandes almost since his arrival at Old Trafford. So this is nothing new to those who've kind of kept an eye and seen this from Bruno Fernandes time and time again. That's just who he is. I'm not sure how that leans into the leadership that Ten Hag is talking about. That for me made absolutely no sense. I will say though that if I'm a Manchester United manager or if I'm involved with Manchester United in official capacity, I'm not happy with Fulham in their official capacity kind of making fun of another team's player.
Right, and Ten Hag saying it's a serious injury, which is what's bothered him more.
Is it enough? That's a lot of nonsense. It's a serious injury, yeah, right. Are you kidding? Get a jab in it. If it was a serious injury, he wouldn't be playing. And if it's a knock, which it probably will be, it's something that every footballer gets and plays with. And if you can feel it, you get a jab in it and it takes the pain away and you get out and you're playing. And you watch this guy. Do you think this is the first time he's done this? Not a chance. Steve, no way in a million years.
You're a TikToker, aren't you, Stevie?
Sorry?
You're a TikToker.
Oh, aye. I mean, it's just... And quite honestly, I don't understand why Ten Hag's responding to this. It should be... If the club are not happy with it and Ten Hag's not happy with it, he should give it to somebody else higher up and do it in an official capacity if you're not happy. Don't be answering a question. You bat these things off if you don't get any sense.
Where do you stand on it, Ian?
I think it's a storm in a teacup and everybody needs to just lighten up a little bit. I mean, it's a wild west out there, isn't it, with social media, and somebody in the Fulham PR office has thought they'd have a bit of fun and put this out. Probably it wasn't that wise if you want to get all serious about it. And if Fernandes really has got a serious injury, I'm with Stevie. If he's got a serious injury, he's not even playing, is he? And if he's got a serious injury, that was a very quick recovery he made in that match against Fulham.
Yeah.
Do you feel like though, going to your point that maybe it's lacking class from Fulham, do you feel that he has been targeted here, like Ten Hag said that he's been targeted by Forest for this moment?
Targeted in what way?
That's the language that Ten Hag used to describe what Forest were doing here, that they were targeting Bruno Fernandes for this moment.
Listen, you're the best player at Manchester. You're the best player at any football club. You're going to get targeted in one way or another, yeah. Right? Let's just move away from that. So I don't understand Ten Hag's complaint. Well, okay. Targeting with social media is one thing. Targeting on the... This is nothing new. You're the key player for the opponent. And this is not about Fernandes. This is not about Manchester United. You're the key player for the opponent. You're going to get targeted. Whether it's being man-marked, whether it's the opponent, you're going to be physical with that player.
You're going to wind them up. I mean, particularly wind them up. He's a guy that you can wind up.
Which is what, obviously, so throughout the game, do you think that's what they're trying to do? Try and wind him up?
But that's just common tactics. That's nothing new. That's nothing if we're playing against Manchester City tomorrow, I want somebody to target Kevin De Bruyne. Make sure that he doesn't pick the ball up in space. Whatever it is, whatever you need to do to ruffle his feathers, you do that. No, like I said, anybody who's kept half an eye on Bruno Fernandes, know all you have to be is slightly physical with him, because he starts going down, he starts moaning to the referee, he starts rolling around and remonstrating, and that is he's as easy as anybody in terms of key players for big clubs to just put off their game in that manner. So it's not hard. It's not hard for Bruno Fernandes. And to that point, if Bruno Fernandes were a little bit stronger, were to stay on his feet a bit more, were to take some of those bumps and bruises that come with playing in the Premier League, then it wouldn't be that easy. It wouldn't be that straightforward as to how to get under his skin.
Do you think Ten Hag is going to tell his players at the weekend, Kevin De Bruyne has been out for a while, lads. Let's not be overly rough with him. Give him plenty of space, plenty of room. I don't want any nonsense. Just leave him alone, okay? What's the chances of that? Seriously? None. Zero. Not a one. And every team that plays against Manchester United should be trying to wind up Bruno Fernandes, should be laying a little bit on Bruno Fernandes if they can. And if they can't do any of those two, then get in his ear and put him off that way. Every single team that plays against anybody who's got a player who can hurt you, you've got to go about it in a certain way that doesn't get you sent off the park.
Probably the easiest currently parallel I can draw is with Vinicius Jr. Mm-hmm. And we saw, particularly last season, how easy it was for opponents to wind him up and how quick they were to do exactly that. And while we sat here and we do not condone any kind of racist rhetoric that was aimed at him, but, you know, the little ruffling of his hair and whispering thing in his ear and on corner kicks, we said that Vinicius Jr. has to be able to handle some of those situations a lot better. Just dismiss it. Don't get into that verbal back and forth with the opponent, because it puts you off your game. And I think he's handled that a whole lot better this season. He has taken that onus on himself to move past that, to be the player that he needs to be. Now it's on Bruno Fernandes. Everybody's going to just keep doing it until Bruno Fernandes stops being so easy to wind up, following on Vinicius Jr.'s example.
What do you think, Ian? Part and parcel of the game, or sometimes a little too much?
Well, part and parcel of the game, isn't it? I mean, he is and cuts rather a petulant figure for the guy who's wearing the captain's armband, and he doesn't seem to be quite the right leader. I think big picture here is Manchester United need Bruno Fernandes to go back to being the player he was when he first arrived, when he was full of goals and full of assists as well. If you look at the stats, that's the story. He somehow now, with all this pressure and hullabaloo about Manchester United week in and week out, he looks like a sidetracked kind of figure. You want really to put blinkers back on him again and get him to really concentrate on the job in hand. And the job in hand is getting Manchester United to somewhere near, at least somewhere near, what they used to be.